Hello, 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 beautiful lady, and welcome to the Subconscious Expert. That feels so powerful to say. Welcome to the next iteration of this podcast. Welcome to the next iteration of Rebecca Haydon. And oh my God, where we are going with the business, with the podcast from here truly is mind blowing. It is vision board extravaganza, and we're kicking it off for July with an absolute bang. I am so excited that you're here. Welcome to the Subconscious Expert. Oh my God. And we're actually kicking off the whole change of name, and obviously I'm going to be speaking about all the same things that I was speaking about on Higher Self and I. It is the same podcast after all. You are still here on a Tuesday and everything is remaining exactly the same apart from the name and the concept. But it truly just aligns so much with not only the person that I've become over the last 6 months, really in 2024, but really where I'm taking the business from 2025 onwards. Oh my God, I can't get over it. I hope you can tell that I'm very excited. But we are here with the Subconscious Expert podcast, and for the whole of July, I am setting the podcast up with its own challenge. Becoming your best subconscious self in your business, claiming your next subconscious level in your business is the focus for July, because that is what I'm here to do for you. And this challenge that we're doing on the podcast is for the podcast alone. So this is not going to be on social media. It's not going to be anywhere else. It is literally a challenge for my podcast listeners, for you. And I want to tell you how to use the challenge. So for the whole of July, the focus of the podcast is about becoming your best subconscious self in your business, claiming that next subconscious level in your business. So all the podcasts are going to be really wired towards this and this alone, but equally, there is going to be a couple of things that I'm going to be challenging you on. There might be a couple of secret drops every now and again. There's going to be challenges inside the podcast, and also challenges to actually win a 45-minute subconscious rewiring one-to-one with myself, or a day VIP Voxer experience with me too. So I want to let you know, over the whole of July, not only are you going to be challenged, but you can join into the podcast challenge as well. So this is how I want you to use the July challenge. So first things first, I want you to give the podcast a cheeky little review. Little 5-star if you're there, and screenshot it and send it, DM me at _ Rebecca Haydon _ This will be in the show notes as well if you don't want to make notes of what to do here. And if you've given the podcast a rating review and sent me the screenshot of it, you will go into the draw of winning a free 45-minute subconscious one-to-one with me. My usual 90 minutes is £500 for the subconscious breakthrough that I do. So it is an absolute no-brainer. If you want a deep dive, 40-minute deep dive into reprogramming your subconscious with me for free, that is your number one that you need to do. So give the podcast a review, screenshot it, send it to me on Instagram, and then you'll go into the little wheel of wheels that they do on Instagram to choose the name to be in the running of winning that. The second thing, if you want to do both of these or just one of them, completely up to you, I want you to share the episode, one of the episodes for July, or an episode that you've been listening to, in your Instagram stories. Tag me at _ Rebecca Haydon _ throughout the month. So this is until July 31st, this will be running. And each time, so you can do it more than once, each time you share, you'll get again entered in to win a VIP Voxer day with me. And I think Voxer, I go on about it all the time. is such the breakthroughs that we can have in Voxer. Oh, they are chef's kiss. So these 2 little things that I want you to do to be part of the challenge. Again, I'm challenging your subconscious anyway, but these 2 things that I want you to do is give the podcast a review, screenshot it, send me a DM of the review, and you go into the draw for a free 45-minute one-to-one with me. And then secondly, if you want to do this as well or just on its own, share the episode of your choice, whether it's an episode in July or whether it's an episode from the last 4 years of the podcast celebrating. Tag me on Instagram throughout the month till July 31st, and you will be in the running of a VIP Voxer day with me. So, kicking off the Subconscious Expert podcast, we are looking at how subconscious work helps your bloody business. Because I am your subconscious expert, you see, hence the title. I have been called it many a times. I know it for myself. I really am truly a subconscious queen, and I cannot wait to support you so deep in your subconscious work, in the subconscious breakthroughs, in your subconscious maintenance. And let's talk about it. Let's talk about how it relates to business, because our subconscious, our beliefs, our patterns, many of which are subconscious, are significantly impacting our business and how we show up. And there are 7 things that I have truly seen within very successful business owners, very sustainable, successful business owners that either sustain or grow very quickly. And I wanted to talk into those today, into these 7. Now, I actually have a free download that I want you to go and get from the show notes. The link will be there, which is the PDF version of, well, very more in depth than what I'm talking about on today's podcast, but it really goes into these 7 traits. And they really are the 7 subconscious rewirers to 7 figures. Because I have been watching and modeling and pretty much reviewing very successful entrepreneurs for a couple of years now, more so in the last 6 months, because I find it so incredibly powerful for me to really be observing of them. And these are the 7 traits that I've seen across a lot of them. And I've been doing a lot of research. I've been doing a lot of watching. I can't think of the word right now. Observing. I've been doing a lot of observing. And these 7 traits really are the through line of them being successful. And if you were to bring in those 7 traits, which I have done myself and well on the way to 7 figures, I truly believe that these are the nooks and crannies of the foundations of success. So, the 7, we have wealth mindset, deep-rooted self-belief, magnetic energy and selling, aligned needle-moving activities and actions, business resilience and adaptability, vision clarity, and expanded capacity. And these 7 really encompass the 7 shifts to 7 figures, which is exactly what you get in the freebie. And you can literally download it. I go through the belief changes. I go through what I see working, how you can start to shift. And there's an absolute load of journal prompts in there so you can start to shift into this too. So let's talk into number 1, wealth mindset. Business brings a lot of money mindset up, right? Because we are running a business where money is a thing that we have to talk about, and money is something that we have to address, and we have to feel safe in, and we have to regulate our nervous system towards it. And a lot of very successful entrepreneurs, and this I want to tell you here, I actually look more at entrepreneurs that are outside the business coach industry. I have worked with and have examples of a lot of 7-8 figure business coaches, but I've looked further afield into entrepreneurs in general. Gymshark, Tala, like there's a lot of different businesses that I've been looking into on how they operate with themselves. Stephen Bartlett, you know the drill. And the wealth mindset that they have truly is so deeply rooted in the beliefs that they have around money. And it's not a lack. It's not a lack of belief that I see, because their ability to hold and sustain wealth and to create wealth, more wealth, whatever that looks like, is not down to the programming that they were brought up with when they were 6 years old. It just ain't. And even if some of them, for example, Stephen Bartlett, didn't have the best childhood growing up, he did work on shifting the narrative around making and having money. And it really does come down to what you believe and perceive money to be, and how it feels making it, how it feels holding it, how it feels sustaining it, that has such an impact on whether you grow the business or not. Secondly, deep-rooted self-belief. I've talked about this on the podcast so many times, but it truly is this kind of like undeniable self-belief that they have in themselves. And I always used to not have much self-belief in myself, if I'm honest, especially in the performing arts industry. And I was very talented, looking back now. The way that I performed and the kind of, it was more my energy than anything. I was a very talented dancer. I was a very talented singer. I was a very talented actor anyway. But my energy, which I know comes across in business as well, used to do a lot of the selling for me. However, the belief that I didn't have in myself would kind of diminish that powerful sunshine energy that I have as a human, and it would make me not stand out. And when I came into business, I very quickly learned that it was exactly the same. And I wasn't willing to have another one of my passions fall to the wayside because of the belief that I didn't have in myself. Because that was literally, hand on my heart, that was the reason why I didn't quote unquote make it in the performing arts industry, is because I didn't believe in myself. So when I didn't believe in myself, the way I sung, the way I performed, the way I put myself out there, the industry is a lot about who you know. It's about networking. It's about being in the right place at the right time. And because I didn't have this deep-rooted self-belief, I didn't put myself forward. I didn't network. I didn't do the things that I should have been doing to get there. I was trying to make it come to me, and sometimes that doesn't happen. Sometimes we have to put ourselves into the light for the light to find us. And I think like when I came into business and I saw the difference of like, wow, this is very much exactly the same, because you are selling yourself to an extent in business, especially if you're a personal brand. You are standing as yourself, selling yourself, and I know you're selling a service, but it's you that's delivering the service. And if that self-belief isn't there, what are they buying into? Unless you have this stellar put my teeth back in, stellar service that they can't help but live without, they have to invest in it. If it's a quote unquote nice to have investment, you need to have the belief in yourself for them to believe in you, that you can make the changes for them, or that you can help them and guide them into the change. And when I look at these very successful 8-figure, multi-millionaires, it's the belief that they had in themselves and the belief that they had in their mission, the belief that they had in the purpose of them being here. And that was the through line to all of the ups and the downs and the resistance and the challenges and the setbacks. It was their ability to pick themselves up back up again and go, no, because I believe in myself. Like, this is going to happen. And I see so many entrepreneurs not have that belief And therefore, with any challenges and any setbacks, there's no belief there to sustain it. There's no belief there to hold yourself in it. And I think probably out of the 7, that is probably one of the deepest ones that you can work on. The most important ones for you to work on is that deep rooted self-belief, and that comes from your subconscious programming. I definitely learnt it. Hell yes, I did. The third thing that I see is this magnetic energy and selling, because when we're scaling our business, you cannot be afraid of selling every day. You cannot, go into it's okay, I'll just give some educational content, I'll just keep giving and giving and giving, which is fine. You can give and give and give, but you can sell and sell and sell at the same time simultaneously. And you're not afraid to sell because, again, the deep-rooted self-belief and the wealth mindset allows you to go, you know what? These people need this. My people need this, and they're here for me to deliver it to them. So selling becomes an absolute ease. It really does. Like, the ease that I have with selling is the ease that I have brushing my teeth, the ease that I have having a shower. Like, it is such a subconscious habit of mine now that I have such ease with, that allows me to sell day in, day out, wherever I am, whether it's the podcast, like any scope of my business. And you have to have that subconscious programming, habitual, I do believe, but also from like a foundational subconscious point of view, to be able to sell and be in that magnetic energy. And that comes down to your energetics. It comes down to the thoughts and the feelings and the beliefs that you have behind what you're selling, and how that feels, and how you know that people are ready to buy and ready to listen and ready to purchase at any given time. And it doesn't stop you and it doesn't hold you back. And I see that so often. They move so quickly. And I think that was one thing that I really, really learned over the last year. And I had people be like, Christ, Beck, like, I'm tired of watching you launch. Surely you're tired. And I'm like, no, I'm having the best time. I'm in the momentum. I'm moving so quickly that the momentum is like carrying this fire within me. And it really allows you to get so comfortable with selling. A lot of the time I'll have clients be like, oh, didn't hit my goals for May. And I'm like, okay, well, let's have a look at how much you sold. Did you? When was the last time you sold? When was the last time you talked about your services? All of this, such standard thing in business, but you have to train your audience that you sell. And if you don't train your audience that you sell, they're literally here to watch your free content. And that's okay if that's what you want, but you're running a business at the end of the day. 4 is the aligned needle moving action. And I speak a lot about having the foundations in your business and being, feeling safe that you can take on more capacity, which is one of the things that I want to talk about today. But having the kind of needle moving activities and knowing what to push in your business that bring in more clients, that produce more leads, that works, and then having the ability and the curiosity to be able to go, okay, where can I turn this up? Like, I had a really big realization yesterday, and I was like, shit, that makes sense. Let me get curious at that. And I did, switched, changed, and now implementation is happening. And I think like being able to understand what the needle moving activities are in your business, but to get curious of the action around it, and to be really disciplined and dedicated to the action. A lot of very successful entrepreneurs are very disciplined within themselves, within their health habits, within their lifestyle habits, with definitely in their business. Discipline and learning the art of discipline and allowing your subconscious to allow you to be disciplined is really, really powerful. And this keeps you in the needle moving activities, because it's quite easy for that to slip, or for you to go back into old habits, or get so busy with other things that you don't sell on that day, whatever that looks like. I think like having this subconscious foundation behind the needle moving action in your business is really important. Number 5 is business resilience and adaptability. Put my teeth back in. I really need some new teeth today. I'm slipping over every word. But the business resilience and having business resilience, I think for me, especially when I'm watching people, is not every business decision or choice or launch or whatever that is going to go 100% the way that you think it's going to go. Like, there's going to be challenges or setbacks or things happen in life, and being able to be okay with that and be okay with still showing up in whatever way that it works for you at that time, to be able to know that this isn't, you don't make it mean anything about you as an identity, being able to get curious, being able to be the observer, and having that resilience to go, hell no, like, this is not going to beat me. This is not going to make me think something about myself. I think is a really, really, really crucial factor in people's success, in my success, most definitely. And being able to question and really understand and like not make it this story. I have a lot of people where they're like, and then my laptop broke, and then it must have been a sign from the universe. It's like, no, your fucking laptop broke, and that's that. Like, what can we do about it to move forward? How can we get curious rather than playing into these big stories, which I know is such a narrative that I see in the entrepreneur space, especially with and this isn't me shitting on any of these, like, because I love them too, but like human design and astrology and like all of these things, Mercury fucking retrograde, all of these things that, yes, I completely love them. I love the tools that they give you, and I love the understanding that they give you. But a lot of the time, I see a lot of people using it as probably as an excuse as to why they're not moving forwards. And I know sometimes that's a little bit like, oh, she went there, she said that. But a lot of it is like a story that you're believing. And it might not be the story that's actually serving you. Sometimes, especially with human design, like there's things in there where I'm like, oh yeah, I can flex this a little bit more, or maybe I don't do this. Like, I can listen to my profile, I'm a generator, and kind of get really curious at it, but I don't let it run the business. I have it there as a tool that I can tap into, but it doesn't become the decider of how I show up. So yeah, business resilience, always key. Number 6 is the kind of clarity of their vision. And I think this comes down to the belief again. All of these like literally knock like a domino effect for everything. And I've put them in this particular pattern for a reason. Like, I've put them in this particular order for a reason, because I see them each kind of dominoing onto each other. But a lot of successful entrepreneurs have this big vision. For example, I have a very big vision of where I'm taking the business in 2025, 2026. Now, that vision leads me so clearly that in 2024 of July of 2024, I can make a decision, for example, the change of name of the podcast and how that's slotting in to the next 5 years. And that is because I have subconsciously done the work on enabling myself to see and play that big and know that it's available for me, so I can start making the moves now. And I have a lot of clients who come to me prior to us working together who say, like, Beck, I can't see what my future will look like, or I can't kind of see what that's going to be. And that's not me saying that you need to see what it looks like in 10 years, because it might look very different. Life happens and things change. But sometimes it's the subconscious keeping you safe with what it kind of wants you to see. And it will hide things from your visions. Like, it definitely happened to me when I came back from Australia, because I was in such fight or flight. I was in such fawn. Well, I was in more fawn than anything in my nervous system, which is like freeze, numb, done. That I couldn't do visualizations at all for a very long time. Like, my subconscious is like, nah, no, I won't let you see it. I will not let you see it. So a lot of the time, like, keeping in mind that vision a lot of successful entrepreneurs have that vision in mind. They use it as part of their visualizations, as part of their energetic shifts, the higher self, shifts into how they're showing up for their day, collapsing the time, all of the quantum leaps that comes from the clarity that they have of their vision and where they're taking the business, because again, they have the deep rooted self-belief. They know what they're doing to get there. Like, it's all intertwining. And then the last one is the expanded capacity, because when we've got the wealth mindset, the deep rooted self belief, we're selling, we're doing the needle moving activities, we've got the business resilience, and we know where we're going with the vision, you then have to be okay with holding more. And whether that's holding more capacity in the way of like more programs or more clients inside the programs, whether that's holding more followers, more comments, more likes, more dislikes, I don't know, whether that's holding more money in your bank account, more team members, whatever that looks like for you, you need to be able to expand your subconscious mind for the clarity within that. And I think getting really clear on that is really, really important. So these are the 7. Like I said, I go really, really deep into these in the freebie, and your first challenge is actually in the show notes. So I want you to go into the show notes today. You should just be able to click down, or you can go to the website, which is where the podcast is also hosted and lives, with all the show notes and the transcription of the podcast. And you'll find your very first challenge, your week 1 challenge of the July challenge in there. Welcome to the Subconscious Expert. I'm so excited where we're going with this podcast. I'm excited for July and all of the things that I'm going to be pushing you out of your comfort zone. We're going to get out the sweatpants, get out of the sweatpants, and get into the sparkly fucking CEO trousers. And subconsciously together, we're going to absolutely rock the fuck out of July. I cannot wait. I'll see you on the next episode. Mwah.